So, what's up, everyone, and welcome into Today we're going to be talking about overcoming fear, job interviews. One of the want to clearly communicate to everyone the power you have process. I really want you to understand that. I want you to that home today, help you understand that because no one wants you to know really that you have as much control as you have. People are coming into the line. I'm going to just do a couple of housekeeping things. One is I'm going to leave my email address in the chat. So if you have a resume and you want to send it to me, feel free to do so. I will take a look at it. I am getting, I don't know, 60 or 70 people are sending me their resume every single day. The more the merrier. Um, and I will look at them and I will give you my recommendation. And here's the deal. I tell people this all the time. If you are not getting called for an interview once you apply to several jobs, there is a great chance that your issue is, there's a great chance that your issue is your resume is not. So I'm pinning my email in the comments right now. Tap the screen to like the live, and it helps to grow the live to get it out to people. And then you can also share the live if you have a question, any question. I'll be more than happy to answer for you right here live. We'll answer for you. The same thing on YouTube. If you open here on YouTube and you have a question and you want me to answer your question, I'll be happy to answer the question for you about the job that it looks like. There's a lot going on in this world today, and people are keeping information from you. And part of the reason why they're keeping information from you is because they want to be in control. That's just the bottom line. And the truth is, I want you to think about what I'm about to say. If everyone left the work market, what would happen to this country, right? It would uh, go down significantly. So the truth is, I'm telling you this as an HR professional, as a talent acquisition manager, truth is employers need, they don't want you to know how much they need you. I want you to know how much, but they really, really, really need you in order for them to be successful in their business. Okay. So if that is the case, why is so many people are afraid to interview? Why? Right? Why are they afraid to ask for what they want when they interview? Why are why is there such fear around trying to impress an employer when the truth is that employer should be trying to impress you, right? Think about think about it. A sports analogy, right? Sports, they're trying to hire or get contracts with the best players possible at the best rate possible so they can win championships. And if you are an A player, a star, a highly skilled and qualified, which all of you are, you can solve a problem like a quarterback on a football team, a pitcher on a baseball team. You are an MVP, and employers need you. So, why do I do this? Why is this my mission, my purpose in life at this time? Because no one is telling you this. And like you, people have overlooked my ability to solve their greatest problem for whatever reason. Now, if I go interview with somebody and they don't accept me for whatever reason, they are the fool. Because one thing I know is I know talent acquisition. I know how to solve that problem in the organization. And it is that same confidence that you in your ability and the same confidence that you need when you walk into an interview. I am creating a guide that I am going to be uploading by tomorrow. The guide, the guide is titled "Never Lose a Job Offer from an Interview Again." Never, ever. It is going to be a guide that shows you exactly what you need to do step by step, all the way through to, and to managers virtually begging you to come to work for them. Okay, and that guide is comprehensive. It'll show you exactly what to do from the time you get to the interview and the time you leave. It'll talk you through all of it. So if you have a question, leave it in the comment section. If you need help with your resume, email your resume and I'll give you my feedback. If you need any other help, you need one-on-one with me, click the link in my bio. Get that. If you need me to work your resume for you, click the link in my bio. I will position your resume so that you are the expert in your field. If you need me to, if you need to know what things you need to know to be prepared before you go to a job interview, there's a guide. If you want to know how to negotiate pay, the best way, I'm talking about the way that you're supposed to do it, the best way to negotiate pay, all of those guides are in my store. If you just click the link in my bio, they are there to equip and empower you so you understand how to overcome and be a conqueror in this process. You have all the control, and I want you to know that. In the story, am I good? Yes, but I cannot hire you without your permission. I can't do it. If you are supremely qualified, I will be dumb not to hire you because you are supremely qualified. Companies want to have the best players on their team because they are competing with other companies that are like their company in the marketplace. And whoever has the best players, whoever has the best team, and the ones that execute the most, that team is going to win. One of the things the company that I work for knows, they know for a fact they will not have to worry about it. It's not going to happen. Right? I'm an A player. You're an A player. We are not going to lose money from this department. I'm an A player. You're an A player. And you need to know that. So you don't need to be afraid about the interview process. There are some things that you may be uncertain. There's anxiety about uncertainty. What's going to happen? What if I told you you can know exactly what's going to happen and you can control everything that's going to happen? Well, the guy overcoming the fear of the job interview will tell you that you have full control over it. You don't have to be afraid. There's no big bad wolf out there. Just because I'm in a position to select you, you have to be in a position to be selected. Right? So if you were not out there and available, I couldn't find you. Just remember that you have the power. You have the not the employer, not the talent acquisition manager, not the recruiter, not the job board. You have the power. And don't you let people think you don't have it. And don't you let people take control of it. Okay? They only have what you are willing to give. Let me answer some of your questions. Hello, Dan. Thanks for the feedback on my resume. The template was amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you purchasing the template. I mean, people, they are getting this template and they send their resume back to me. I'm just being honest with you. It's like night and day. In fact, I saw out of the hundreds of resumes taking a look at in over the course of the last 3 weeks, I had somebody send me a resume. I asked a question. I was a little stupid. I said, this person, did you use my resume template to create your resume? They said, no, I didn't. I didn't purchase it. I was just sending it over to you to review. I said, don't you change nothing about your resume. Don't change anything. Now they needed to do something. I'll explain to you what they needed to do. But it wasn't for the resume. And they said they were not getting calls back. I said, it's not because of the resume. Then I asked, how many jobs are you applying to? And they admitted, well, I'm not applying to that many jobs. I need to actually broaden and listen to the video, and they listen to my video and realize they need to broaden their search, add more searches because of the passive active job postings that are out. So if you are not sending out or doing 25 applications, I would say on a daily basis, right? 25 applications on a daily basis, then it's going to be hard for you to get a job because many of the positions that are out there now, about 40% of them are passive jobs. Okay. If you have a question, leave it in the comments and I'll be happy to answer your question if you have. All right. J504 says, Daniel, should we use a neutral, supplicating, or downward tonality when speaking to your speakers or to your boss? Let me ask you this question. So let me say it like this. Hopefully this will get right to the point. Then I'll turn back around and answer the question in the way I think you would answer. I have staff, okay? I have people on my team that I am responsible for managing. I work for them. It's not the reverse. Okay. They don't work for me. I work for them. Okay. That's the deal. If you don't have a manager who has that way of thinking, you're gonna have problems. Okay? My job as a manager is to provide the tools, the time, and the training for my team to do their job. And my other job on their behalf is to remove any barriers that are in their way of getting the job done and allocate any resources they need to get the job done. So if I'm not giving them the tools, time and training, removing barriers and allocating resources, I'm not a good manager. I work for my team. My team is an extension of me. People don't leave companies, they leave people. Okay. So if you have a manager that is not serving you, saying, what can I do for you? How can I help? What do you need from me? You don't have that kind of manager, you're going to have issues. So, to your question, should you use neutral or downward tonality when you speak to your senior manager? You should always speak to anyone with a respectful tone, right? Care enough about yourself and the other human. Care enough about yourself and the other human. Care enough about yourself. My connection was a little care enough about yourself and the other human that you're talking to speak to that person with respect. I don't need to tell you what that looks like, but no one is going to yell at me, and I'm not going to yell at them. No one's going to be disrespectful to me, and I'm not going to be disrespectful to them. I am going to serve the needs of my team so they can get the job done. No one will outserve me on my team. I don't care who they are. I'll come to where you are, help you, whatever I have to do to make sure you are getting your job done. I will be more than happy to provide you with assistance, direction, hands on. I don't care what it is. You need me to pre-screen people for you so you can get caught up, I'll do it. You need me to help prep somebody's resume and talk to the manager, I will do it. So my team knows if they have a knot in the rope that they need untied, they can reach out to me. I will untie that knot on their behalf so they continue doing what they need to do, and I'll circle back to them to explain to them that the job has been done, the pathway has been cleared. So speak to people with respect and expect people to speak to you with respect. That's how the whole relationship in the should work. Okay? Kyra, How many pages should your resume be? I covered this in a video before. My resume is 3 pages long. I have 4 decades worth of experience. I don't put 4 decades of experience on my resume, but the, my resume is 3 pages long. The average person's resume will be 2 pages long. 1 page is not enough. Let me explain to you why. Okay. When you look at my resume template, you notice that the first page frames you as an expert in whatever area you're in. Okay. That whole first page should not have any of your work history. It frames your expertise. Okay. And that is the thing that hiring managers and talent acquisition people love. Recruiters love that. They want to know how much of an expert you are. So your first page frames that. Okay. The second page supports this with your work history, education, and additional service and military service. So the average person's resume is 2 pages long. So then I'll give it to you like this. If you're an entry level person to a mid level person and you have 0 to like 5 years experience, your resume is probably going to be 2 pages long. If you are a person who has more than 5 years of experience, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, if you're a senior person, your resume is probably going to be 3 pages. 2 pages will be the history, and 1 page will frame your expertise. You do not have the resume template that I have in my store. You need to grab it. If your resume is not positioned in that way, you are going to be caught in the crowd. I can promise you that. Right? So Rand says, I think fears come from the odds are in the employer's favor, meaning there's more supply, a more. So my internet function again. So Grandis says, I think fear comes from the odds are in the employer's favor, meaning there's more supply applicants than demand available jobs. So, so Grand, I'm about to share something with you. Listen to me. That is partially true, but it is completely wrong. Let me explain to you why what I mean. Yes, there are a lot of people who are available to work, but there are very few good people, experts, people you don't have to worry about if they're going to get the job done. There are very few of you. Okay? Employers know that. And most employers are playing the odds. If I interview enough people, I'll find somebody that's suitable. That's not the way you're supposed to do it. What you should be doing is interviewing the very best people only. And you use your talent acquisition team, your recruiting team to do that. Find the very best talent available and present that talent available to you. And what is best? That is a person who can come in on day one with reasonable training, and they are a plug and play solution. They can walk right into the business, and with a little bit of time, a week or whatever training, they can start to contribute immediately. There are very few people in the job market who can do that. Okay? One of my clients who lives in Birmingham, Alabama, is interviewing for a territory sales position in the medical field. And what I had to help him understand is he is rare, like a needle in a haystack, right? And what I helped him to understand is listen for the issue that is most important to the hiring manager. In his case was he lived in one state and they needed him to actually manage the territory one state over. I said, if you can calm her fear about that, she will almost beg you to come to work. Why? Because you have been doing this for 18 years and you don't need anyone to hold your hand. You don't need anyone to train you. You can walk right in tomorrow after HR orientation. The following week, you can start knocking on doors and getting results to help the company to grow. There are very few people in the market that most people require 6 months training to be acclimated to be some sort of contributor. 6 months. That's why companies are afraid to hire under-skilled individuals because they're thinking, well, it's gonna take us a long time. Or if you're supremely qualified, they tell you that you're overqualified because their concern is you're not going to be around after 6 months or a year because you have more qualifications than we need, and somebody else will probably snatch you up. Very few people, very few are part of that top notch, top tier, get it done, make it happen kind of individuals in their field. So, yes, there are a lot of applicants in the market, but very few are top tier. Now that you know that, who has the power? Who has the control? You do. You do. I don't beg people to hire me. I know what I bring to the table. I know the problem I can solve. I know how fast I can solve it. I understand what my contribution brings to an organization. Nobody has to tell me that. You don't have to try to convince me. I know, and I can explain it to you. I can put it in PowerPoint. I can write it on a piece of paper, a pad. I can talk about it. It doesn't matter. That's you. That's you the same way. So you have the control. So you have the control, not the you have the control, not the employer. Hey, Donna said she just emailed me your resume. Thank you so much. I will take a look at that. Joni says, awesome. I definitely need some assistance with my resume. Joni, there's one or two options that you have. Well, one or three options. First, email me your resume. I'll take a look at it and give you my recommendation. You want to reformat your resume in an hour. It'll take you less than an hour to do it. Click the link in my bio right now and get the resume template. If you want me to do it, to position your qualification as a supremely qualified individual, there's a resume rework certificate in this as well. I'll be happy to do that for you. I will all of the keywords, all of the writing, everything you're supposed to have in your resume as an expert in that area, and you have to be an expert. It's not going to be fixed. I will create a resume for you and send it back. Usually, you can do that within 24 to 48 hours. Okay? If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I'm happy to answer that question for you. Okay? So another reason why people are afraid in the interview process, not only is it uncertainty, but they're afraid they're going to be rejected. And if you follow what I'm telling you, you will not be rejected. You will be the one that's doing the rejecting. You'll be the one that says to the hiring manager, thank you, but no thank you. Okay? So there should not be a fear of rejection. That anxiety is there because we're thinking maybe that person won't think we're good enough. But if you follow what I'm saying on my page and listen to it, I'm giving you all of this free content, you will know that they are going to want you and not reject you. Off the 15 says interview process is beneficial for both company and candidate. As an interviewer, you can spot possible red flags that allow you to empower flags that allow you to empower you to control the process, can play in negotiation. So here's the 15. You might be one of those top tier interviewers or hiring managers. I'm going to tell you, this is my experience of 35 years working. Most hiring managers are very good in the area they've been hired for, whatever that is, accounting, customer service, sales, the medical area. They're very good at that, but they are not very good at interviewing candidates and understanding how that candidate, how that candidate's abilities will play out in the work. Let me explain to you what I mean. There's a verse in the Bible that says this: out of the abundance of the heart, word heart there means thinking. So I'll change it. Out of the abundance of a man's thinking, so is he. So you are what your mind thinks. And the Bible also says, as a man speaks, it says, as a man speaks, so is he, out of the abundance of the heart, that's what that man will be, right? So you cannot separate what you think from what you do. And the best way to know what you will do and think is to get you to talk. And the best way to get you to talk is to ask pointed questions. So the purpose of the interview process is to ask pointed questions so a person can answer those questions so you can interpret how that person thinks. And that will then give you the ability to predict how a person is going to act or move. Most hiring managers have no idea about how to do it. Most of them do not. Okay? So you may be one of those very rare hiring managers who do tons of interviews, right? That's why this whole STAR interview process has come about. These behavioral interview questions come about. What is the situation, right? What was the task you did, right? What was the action you took, and what were the results you got? So they created this STAR method to try to help hiring managers understand what a person will give an answer so they can understand what a person will do. So that's the purpose of the STAR method. Okay, that's the purpose of the STAR method. It's there so that it can help you predict what that person's behavior is. But most people, most hiring managers, I would say if I had to put a number on it, 90% don't know how to properly evaluate a candidate. They don't. They're looking for a person who has done what it is they need to do. And they're checking out ability, and those two things are favorable. They want to make that person their offer. My job as a talent acquisition expert is to understand the predictability of a person's behavior because my number one goal, one of my KPIs, is to reduce turnover in an organization. So how do I reduce turnover? I have to be able to accurately predict whether a person is a quitter or not. I have to be able to accurately predict that. And I do that by asking certain questions that help me to understand how a person will move, act, roll, rock. I have to ask those questions. That's what I do all day, every day. And I'm giving those answers to you because the answers I'm giving to you when you watch my content signal to hiring managers that you are a hard-working, loyal, committed, top-tier candidate. Okay, so thank you for that question. If you have a question, leave it in the comments, please. If you want me to take a look at your resume, if you want me to take a look at your resume, I hand my email address, coachdanielsmiley@gmail.com. I will look at it and give you my honest feedback. How do you know that you need to have your resume reworked? Number one, if you are applying for a bunch of jobs, 20 jobs, 30 jobs, but no one is calling you back, it's probably because your resume is not exciting yet. It needs to be reworked. If you are applying to jobs, but you are getting an interview and not an offer, you need to actually do something about your interview, right? There's some issues. You're not answering the questions correctly. Maybe you're talking too much. Maybe you're going down too many rabbit holes. They just don't like you because that's what it's all about. If you are applying for jobs and you're getting interviews, but you are not making offers, getting offers, there's some sort of mismatch there, right? You're applying to the wrong job, something's going on there, right? And I want you to understand that you have the power. Okay, likewise, because I spotted some in the interview yesterday, e.g., backfield position, person low A, work-life balance not emphasized in company. I had both things. Okay, so if that, I appreciate you saying that. And again, I can tell that you've been interviewing some people and you're looking for things that 99% of hiring managers are not looking for. But if that candidate had been following this content, they would have easily understood there are some things that they need to stay away from, and that wouldn't have been a red flag for you. Yeah, so actually, the scripture goes, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak, and as a man thinketh, so is he." Out of the abundance of a man's thinking, the mouth speaks. You will say, and as a man thinks, so is he. So our education about how we think, that tells people how we will move. Okay? If you have a question about the application interview hiring process, leave it in the comments. Brandon says, I love your response to my point. Thank you so much. You're welcome. That's why I'm here. I am here to serve you. I want to give you the opportunity to win in every area and take the control back. I want you to take the control back. Okay. Uh, is Yizzy Kick says relevant, but I have an interview Monday and I'm using my man's quote when they ask me, why should you work here? Because I have the skills and expertise you need. Yes. Now leave the last piece out. I understand what you're saying. Yes, that's what you should tell them. What I want to work is because I have the skill and experience you need to solve the problem that you have. Now, I get this question: what if they ask the problem I solve? Well, every job is a problem-solving position. You pay the money that they pay you is a reward for solving their problem. I solve hiring problems. I solve employee employment stability problems in an organization. So does my colleague, the HR. If you're a customer service rep, you solve customer service problems in an organization. And then you need to hire someone, it's because you don't have enough people or the expertise in the people they have to handle the customers they have. If you take care of the customers will continue to come back. They continue to come back, it provides a steady stream of income for the organization. Everything is tied to either saving or production of money. Right? I save company money through talent acquisition, but I help the company make money by hiring the best talent. If you're a salesperson, what problem do you solve? You solve the problem of helping the company grow through acquisition or acquiring a new customer. If you have talent, what problem do you solve? You're making sure that the books are balanced and that there is no leakage in finance, right? And whatever level it is, you're either supporting someone who's making sure that the books are balanced, or you're the person who's balancing the books. What if you're a CEO? What problem do you have? Your job as a CEO is to drive vision and direction, and communicate that vision and direction, and hold people accountable to executing the vision and direction you have established as the CEO of the company. Every job solves some kind of problem, and you need to know what problem your position solves based on your skill, the job you're doing. So if you have a question, leave it in the comments. I will be happy to answer those questions. Thanks, Coach, for addressing my comments with your perspective. Humbly appreciate it. You're welcome. Here's the thing about me you need to know there are very few things that I will run away from these questions. And I've been doing this for a long time. And I've talked about my story from time to time. One of the challenges that I had, I grew up with a single mom, um, and I did not like the way she had to struggle to take care of her kids. I didn't like it. It wasn't cool. So what was born out of that struggle is my desire to go to work, right? So that I can relieve the pressure on her. The reason why I do this is this. I can remember this when I was 15 years old. I didn't like the way I felt when I wasn't able to get what it is I needed, and I didn't like the way it felt to put my mom under pressure. So, why do I do this? Because I don't want you to feel like I felt when I was 15. What is all it means? This is my purpose. This is why I'm here. I am here to help you. So my struggle is going to be your benefit. That's what it's all about. And that's why I'm in television, why I love it, and why I've been in it for so many years. Okay? Princess says, good morning. I had an interview and it didn't end well. However, I have another opportunity with the county. Great hours, schedule, and location. But the pay is on the low end. I'm not sure if I can negotiate. So first thing I want to understand is you and I have been having a little bit of dialogue. I'd like to know why you think it did not go well. What was it? So you got to the interview. In other words, they saw your resume, they looked through it, you got to the interview, it didn't go well. Tell me why you think it didn't go well. Because if it didn't go well, and we can identify why it didn't go well, we can make our next interview with the county go well, so you can get that job. And you're not sure how you can negotiate. There is a guide in my store. It's called The Best Way to Negotiate Pay. It's going to tell you this. Whenever they give you an offer, even if it's on the low end, it could be the very high end. Always ask this question. Are there any other tools that go along with this? Always ask for, always ask for, always ask for 10% more than they offer. They may say no. Always ask for, is it possible? To get, if it's a $30 an hour job, is it possible for the company to meet me at 30? There's a reason why I do it. If you come back to them with a large number that they cannot accommodate, they're like, this person, they're a senior, but they want $50 an hour and this is a $30 role, you're probably going to decline to get the offer because their mindset is the same. This person is from a $50 job, they're going to leave with $30. But if it's 33, if it's a $33 an hour job, $30 an hour job, you ask for 33, right? Which is an addition of grand 62 a year, something like that. They are not inclined to decline because that's not the big challenge. So you want to ask, are there any other incentives? Ask for the additional 10%. Ask what is there a performance bonus based on your KPI? Ask about that guide. It will tell you all of those things, what you should say and how you should do it. So I wish you the best of luck. If you need help from me, a lot of people right before the interviews do a one-on-one, and I can tell them exactly what to say and do in that interview so they can get the job. And I don't care what it is. My concern is age discrimination for having 20 years. Granted, I've explained this many, many times. I'm not a young kid. I'm 59 years old. So, am I concerned about ages? Am I concerned about another young whippersnapper recruiter coming in and the company wanting to work with them? There are some companies that value youth. Okay? That's a lot of work, though. Think about you having a team of inexperienced young people versus having a team full of veterans who know what to do and you don't have to worry about them, right? Think about that. People who can, who do not have to hold. So you have to figure out which companies value, which companies value maturity, experience, and expertise, right? You can even ask that question, okay? So one of the questions you can ask in an interview is, if they say, do you have any questions? You can ask the recruiter or the hiring manager this question. Yeah. So let's say two questions. But you already know what the first one is. The second one is when you like That's the second question. But the first question could be something like this. Yes, I'd like to know what you as a hiring manager value most. Is it inexperience, some experience, or maturity and expertise? What's most important to you as a manager? Almost all of them will tell you maturity and expertise. Why do they say that? Because most hiring managers, with everything on their plate, they do not want to have to hold people's hand to get a job. There is no way on God's green earth I am going to be spending 8 hours of work holding the hand of a recruiter. Not doing it. I'm going to give you the process, the system, and you need to have the maturity and the discipline to execute the strategy that I gave to you. Because it's going to benefit you, the candidate, and this company. If you can't do that, that's fine. I know how to I know how to fix that. You can say it that way. I don't want to get crazy. I know how to fix that. So you need to recognize, find out if they value youth and inexperience, some experience, or if they value, someone who is mature and experienced, right? EEO says we can't discriminate against people with respect to age. Everybody has their little ism going on. That's true. But that's a quick way to find out. All right. So Princess said you go down the rabbit hole again. I'm gonna tell you why you do that, Princess. Okay? You should get the guide Overcoming the Fear of Job Interview. Because people who go down rabbit holes, you are what I call peacocking. Okay? You are flapping your wings. You're trying to impress the hiring manager by you're explaining the explanation and you're expressing an explanation to the explanation. That's called peacocking. You're just pushing your chest out, showing people how good you are trying to impress them. And they think of it as you talk too much. Ma'am, can you just be quiet? You told me the answer. I got it. I want to move on. You talk too much. Stop peacocking. Don't be a peacock. You have to show all of your feathers, right? They're looking at your resume. They see how beautiful you are. They know how complex and awesome you are. You don't have to go down a rabbit hole talking to them about everything you've ever done in your entire life since you were 6 months old and why it has brought you to this point. Why am I telling you that? Because that used to be my problem. Seeking acceptance from those that I talk to and having them recognize my expertise caused me to dive nose first into a rabbit hole talking about all of the stuff I could do, did do, will do, can do. Don't do that. Don't be a peacock, okay? Don't be a peacock. Don't do that. Be a dove. Tell them who you are, how much of an expert you are at it, and that's it. That's why my questions, the answers to the questions are short, straightforward, and to the point. So you are not being a peacock, okay? Don't go down that hole. Now, because I recognize that when I'm in an interview with somebody, I will stop them right in their tracks. I don't judge them because of that. A lot of people will judge. They will judge you because of that. Now, why am I saying that? So here's what they're thinking. This girl runs her mouth. She just talks way too much. If I had to be in a room with no windows for 8 hours a day with this girl, it would be like nails on a chalkboard. And that's what our managers think. So I try to prep people and tell them, don't talk too much. Takes your likability and tanks it. Okay? So give short, sweet, and direct. Okay, so Princess says, I found your page after the fact. Thank you for getting on this soapbox. I wasn't trying to beat you down. And how to conflict with old people that get along with everyone. I'm old school. I do the job and respect each other. That would be a great answer. I'm old school. Understand. I need to be quiet, do my job, and make things happen. But just like I said to the person earlier, you know, how should you talk to a manager with they should talk to you with respect, you should talk to them with respect. All right, Princess, I wasn't saying you talk too much. I really wasn't talking about you directly. I'm trying to use this broader broader and I know you support me. I know you and I appreciate it. Much love to you, sis. I appreciate you. So keep doing the same thing. So don't go down any rabbit holes. Just tell people how much of an expert and how awesome you are, and they will do their job. Randy says, I love you. Thanks. So it's okay to put my job experience for 15 to 20 years experience on my resume without being age 6 based on not indicating I'm over 40. Yes. Let me explain to you what most employers, this is how it's been for 35 years. Let me explain to you what most employers value the last 10 years. If you're a senior person, your last 10 years. If you're a mid-level person, your last 5 years. If you're an entry-level person, your last 2. That's how they look at it. So you can have 900 years of experience on your resume. Most employers only want to know what you do the last 10. Okay? You can have 150 years on your resume. If you're a mid-level person, all they want to know is what you do in the last 5 or 6. Entry level, right? You still have Similac on your breath. You guys will understand that. I have to post it. If you're young and inexperienced, right? They're looking at the last 2 years. That's what they care about. So I may hire somebody who has 10 years of work experience, but it's new to the industry. I want to know what they've done the last 2 years. Because the other stuff is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. That's how it works. I hope this is Brandon's. So a lot of people have the fear of rejection when it comes to interviewing. You are in control. Another fear that a lot of people have is the fear of judgment. Judgment. Okay. What does that look like? Well, they are looking down on you, right? Or their friends. I don't know why that came to my mind. The similar thing came to my mind. So a lot of people are afraid that they're going to be judged. And here's the thing: a lot of people into these interviews, into these strange relationships that you are getting. A lot of people take into those interviews past hurts and pains. I've done the same thing. Several of the jobs that I've worked for, three I can think of, I have done my job so well, I was laid off because I worked myself out of a job. So one of the challenges I have, whenever I go into an interview or whenever I am doing a job, is I don't want to work as fast as I can because my concern is I will work myself out of a job. That has happened 3 times. 3 times. Man, we are reducing the force. And man, listen, you're it. Not because you've done a bad job, it's because you've done an excellent job. We don't need a person anymore. You know, we can keep recruiting him. That has happened to me 3 times. So I have fear too when I go out and look for a job. I am so qualified, I can do my job so well that I have to temper my explanations of things so that people are not, I don't want to call it overly impressed. They're not afraid. They're afraid that I have so much experience that I'm not going to stick around, or some people call them intimidation. There's just a fear there. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You drop your gems, right? You're weak. So happy to. I'm here to serve you guys. That's why I love it. Fear of judgment. People judging you. Okay. Remember, if you need help with your resume, you can email it to me right now. The email is pinned here. Go to resume template, click the link in my bio, grab that resume template. There's some other grab and go items in there. What you should know before you go to a job interview. The best way to negotiate pay, the fastest way to find a job in 2024, the fastest way to find a job in 2024. In that guide, I talk about the difference between the jobs you are applying for. Is it a passive job opening or is it a active job opening, and what those differences are and why companies use each, how to know, right? For instance, if you have not heard anything back from the employer and it has been 3 weeks since you have applied, it could be because that position is not really a position, right? It's just a passive job opening with their bench. How do you know if it's not? If your resume is not a match, but you get a rejection letter, thank you for applying, we decided to qualify. That means they're hiring right now, but they don't think based on your resume you are a fit. You're not going to get an interview. So it's important to know that guy will. Okay? Fear of the unknown, overcoming the fear of the unknown, not knowing what to expect. Again, this is why I tell you you are in control of the process. Every hiring is the same way in almost every single company with a few nuances. Typically, we're going to interview with the talent acquisition recruiting person. That person is going to refer you to the hiring manager. The hiring manager might have you interview with their team. Their team then will bring you to the hiring manager. You have to interview with a panel of people who are above the hiring manager, and then a decision is going to do. So it's either 1 to 5 step process. That's how it works, right? You need to understand that you are in control of every step in the process. Yes, I know you are looking for a new team to join and you need a job. They need you. There are more open positions that need you than there are good candidates to fill the open positions. I'm going to say that again. There are more open positions that need you, a top tier candidate, than there are candidates to fill those. Okay, you're the best of the best, and everybody should be wanting to hire you. Or they get a subpar profession. That's just the way it works. That's just the thing. If this live was helpful to you, you got something from it. Please consider following me or subscribing on Instagram. It's just $4.99 a month. If you need help with your resume, you can email it to me or get the guy in the store. If you need to do a one-on-one with you need me to coach you up to help you. If you need me to help you position your resume, meaning you want me to rewrite it, I'll be happy to do that. Go to your resume writing service, who really doesn't understand things from a talent acquisition perspective. They're going to give you a resume that maybe AI generated, whatever. I'm going to give you a resume using the template that I everybody to get. I'm going to position it so that it is perfect for hiring managers, for applicant tracking systems. It's going to be perfect for all of those things. Okay? So consider following if you're not following, being a subscriber, $4.99 a month. That really, really supports. You can also donate. So I have people on a daily basis who will send me a gift of gratitude. Click the link in my bio and just click the cash app. And you can send me $5, $500. Whatever whatever you want. I don't, you know, I'll be thankful for whatever, even if it's 50 cents. It helps me to continue to provide this valuable content for you for free. So you can win in your job interviews and get the job you want faster. Stay tuned because I have more live streams that are coming. Stay close to my page. I'll be more than happy to tell you about the next one. I cannot wait